then where the band was, it's now a bunch of evil druids. Really evil druids.
They're hella evil.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve. Steve's the name of our audio engineer. I was hoping he'd pump it up a little louder so we could hear it out here.
Knock it off!
They're just stabbing that dude.
Oh, yeah, he starts the game unarmed, but he very soon finds the separator, which is a very powerful axe. And it turns out he's a roadie, but he's really good at the axe, which I think a lot of people think they would be if given the opportunity. I mean, don't you have that feeling that if you got pulled back in time, you could chop a druid's head off?
Oh yeah, all the time.
So Eddie has a combat series of combo moves, but he also has this, which is he has a guitar from the modern world he brought back with him, and it was just a regular guitar, but here in this world, it's amplified by the world of rock itself, so it has powers. So this is Clementine, his guitar. And so he can use this to summon rock show effects that actually do destructive damage, like he can summon lightning and pyrotechnics, and he can use them in combination with his axe. You can stun enemies with the lightning and then jump up and do a special charge axe attack, or do things like the Earthshaker, which is by pressing the A and X button together, you can do a power chord so heavy that it shakes the whole world. And it sends your enemies flying, but also brings some elements of the house down. The idea is that it's really fun, easy to do combat, but it also creates this crazy rock show-like spectacle. So you're fighting medieval war, but you're also at a rock show the whole time. So when you're playing the game, it's like a battle of the bands with real axes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's fun.
Yeah, dude, that is the... I'm sorry, I got a big old grin on my face and just keep on looking at me where you're showing me. Tim Schafer, I'm going to ask you some questions from our audience that are watching live at home.
On the internet? I'm going to go on the internet too.
These people, yeah,
I'm
totally.
I'm going to get some questions for you on the internet.
Oh, really? All right, do it up. Let's see if I can do this. They said they fixed this. So the one question I'm going to ask you before I get to theirs is looking at those commercials you're doing, Jack Black, the stuff that the promo stuff that you guys been doing, crazy controller plugged in his brain. How much fun is it to have worked on this game with that guy in particular? Not to mention the awesome cast of characters you got, Ozzy Osbourne and Lita Ford.
And yeah, well, Jack is a lot of fun. He's the kind of guy you hang out with him. He's exactly kind of what you'd hope he'd be like really funny in person and really nice. And you kind of have to remind yourself that, oh yeah, he's a world famous movie star because he's really down to earth. But he's also a big gamer. You know, he's online all the time, playing on his Xbox. He's really into racing games and also...
He actually did one of our shows, button mashing once.
Yeah,
totally. He came in
and he finishes games. He goes through Mass Effect and he finishes them. He's really into it. So when we're doing the voice and we say, okay, this is a choice the player has and a hint, he knows exactly what we're talking about, and he knows how many lines. You know, he does almost 3,000 lines of dialogue in the game.
That's a lot.
And he's a good sport, and he does those things like the brutal thoughts. You know, that was one of my goals. Like, I didn't think there was any chance we'd actually get someone like Jack Black to be in the game, but I was making this game thinking I want Jack Black to like this game because of School of Rock and Tenacious D, and I just, you know, this character was so inspired by, like, his School of Rock character is just love for music, you know. So I was hoping, hope Jack Black likes the game. Even if he doesn't want to be in it, I hope he just likes it. So we went down there and showed him the game, concept art, laid it all out, talked about heavy metal and everything, and he liked it enough to sign on to do it. So that was at least, I'm like, now I know we're making the right game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You two guys, because you're a pretty fun guy yourself, you know.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
Every time I get to hear or see you make me laugh as well. So you two guys together, I just can't imagine. That just was like rad.
It's fun. I mean, sometimes it gets, you know, I did this awards show, and we had this thing on stage together, and we went to rehearsal, and I went up and they handed me the flamethrower and all these props. It's like, why are you giving these to me? And they're like, aren't you Mr. Black's stand-in? So, super awesome. Yeah.
Super awesome. All right, so
there's the battle, Nun.
There's a battle. I'm gonna try to slide this laptop over to somebody that can take it to one of our IT.
Are you having IT? You want me to be your IT person?
I don't virtual private networks. I'm not sure. So we've been chatting about a few things here and there, and this is literally the beginning of the game where it's teaching you how to do all the different moves and everything. That's why we're seeing this stuff pop up, right?
Yeah, this is where we want to get the player accustomed to the basic core mechanic, which is you have an axe and you have a guitar. You use them in combination, and also you're going to have a third weapon here in a second. Maybe there's a new combo here called the Grand Slam, where you can pop the enemies up in the air with pyrotechnics and smack them into the bleachers of infinite pain. Because we want it to be a seamless integration of axe and guitar. And then here we'll see the third part. So this part is more structured, but then once the intro is over, it's kind of like an exciting roller coaster to get you into the game. Then it opens up and becomes an open world environment. It's 64 square kilometers. You can have the hot rod, you can drive around it. And that's one of the things I really like about the game, is that there's a real living, breathing, heavy metal world that you can explore and just kind of hang out in and find all these characters and go on quests, and while doing this overarching story about saving humanity from demons.
One question that came to me while we were talking about this: what do you do? Like, what do you do for the soundtrack, the music, for a game like this? Like, how do you?
We went and got, we made a list. I mean, first I had a list of all my favorite songs, right? It's like a dream job. Like, what are your favorite heavy metal songs? You know, and I wrote them all down. But that was really only like 10% of the music that we needed. So then Emily from our sound department went down and did some research, and we needed to fill out. We actually ended up learning a ton about music from that research, and we added all these crazy bands to the game, and it's been the most, just a really interesting use of licensed music, because we are doing both straight licensed music, but then also kind of editing it or reorchestrating it, doing a classical version of it so we can incorporate the themes in different unique ways and make it interactive. So sometimes you'll hear just a classic song that you knew that just fits the moment perfectly. Sometimes it's an original piece of music, and sometimes it's something we've done some clever editing with. Basically, it's going to be the greatest soundtrack of any game you've ever heard. At least I think so. But I mean, even if you don't, the fun thing is people who don't even like heavy metal find something to like about the game, because it's really a crazy, action-packed driving. It's really just an insane fantasy world where anything can happen, you know, and the music just fits the feeling and the emotion, even if it's not about being an encyclopedic metalhead, you know, where you know everything about it. But if you are one of those people playing this game, you'll probably see little pieces of heavy metal flavor that you'd appreciate, you know, little jokes in the naming, or the kind of our little winks to the people in the know.
Where's he going in this car right now, by the way?
He is trying to get to the feeding area before they shut the gates to the... He's trying to escape the Temple of Orma. Yeah, he's trying to get out of this Temple of Ormagoden, which is where he lands. He's basically just trying to survive at this point. One of the things I want to do in the game, though, is that he's not actually trying to get home the whole time. Because, you know, like, I always thought, you know, like in the movie Big, when you know, that kid becomes Tom Hanks as an adult, and he spent the whole time trying to become a kid again. I was like, wow, come on, that's awesome. You're a grown-up. Come on. That would be, or, you know, when you go to the Wizard of Oz and you spend all that time in the Land of Oz trying to get home, it's like, the Land of Oz is awesome. Why do you want to go back to... So Eddie's like, no, this is the land he's always dreamed of. This is the land from every heavy metal album cover he's ever seen. And it's like, this is what I've been waiting for all my life. I got a broadaxe guitar, there's hot ladies around, and I got a car. It's like, I'm home.
Let's kick ass, man.
This is the horned lamprey.
Sorry. Did you know those dudes?
I've been talking over all the great Jack acting.
Where do you get this slick ride, by the way?
He built it.
He built it.
There's a, you know, this land has a lot of lore, and some of the history of it is that there was an ancient race of Titans who invented everything cool. They invented music, heavy metal, hot rods, everything, rocker clothes. Like, they invented it all. They became so cool, they ascended into the heavens and became the gods of metal. But they left behind instructions for the world, in the natural world, about how to make all this stuff. Like, they taught spiders how to spin guitar strings, and they taught the ground how to fester V8 engines like truffles, you know. And then they put instructions in the form of hieroglyphics all over the world, but no one ever figured it out until Eddie got there. So this stuff is just laying around, and Eddie goes and he plays his guitar. He knows how to read the ancient writing on the wall, which turns out to be guitar tablature. He plays the song